Hey, my reactor. So we back with a new book called Against Nature by Casey Barrett. I'm reading the prologue. It was a beautiful view. The deputy couldn't stop staring at it. Death rested on the rocks below, but his eyes were drawn up and out towards a rolling horizon in the crisp spring sky. My allergies, y'all. The valley was framed in a V by the Catskill Clove, a deep gorge that dove between a pair of green mountains in the northern Catskill. Since the 19th century, painters had stood on these rocks and tried to capture the observed beauty. His boss, the sheriff of Greene County, gazed over the falls at the broken dead figure that had gone over the side. The body appeared to have detonated on impact. Blood splattered covered the rocks and flowed down with the falling water. He sighed, never looked up, immune to the nature gawking. Every season there will be a handful of these. Fool City folks who raced up the sides of the waterfalls in flip-flops, then took a wrong step on a loose rock, and down they went. But this wasn't that. He knew the poor bastard down there. He was a local, a writer of faded fame by the name of Victor Wingate. He went to join a thin man who was crouched off to the side, petting Wingate's orphan lad named Philly. "What do you think?" he asked. The thin man frowned, his eyes moist. "They been neighbors." He straightened up, gave Philly a pat on her big brown head. "He tried it before," he said. The sheriff nodded. "Few years back, was it?" he asked, after the wife left him. "He was doing well," said the thin man. "Better than I'd seen him in a long time." They glanced over at the apparent reason for this. A frightening beauty, dressed in black, smoking and scalding next to the dying ash tree. She was tall, severe, with ink black hair that fell around a pale, perfectly sentimental face. The sheriff approached. "He didn't kill himself," said the lady. "There's no fucking way." He backed off without reply. There would be time for questions later. She was giving off a dark energy that threatened to make a bad situation look worse. Instead, he walked over to his deputy. "Bother you for a hand?" he asked. The kid blinked, shook his head as if waking from hypnosis. Sure, he stammered. "What do you need? Call the rescue squad yet?" he asked. "Gonna need them to climb down there and retrieve Mr. Wingate before dark, unless you'd like to do it yourself." The deputy took a last look at the view, then turned and hiked off through the woods to organize the rescue effort, reflecting as he went that rescue was a foolish word for the recovery of a successful suicide. The sheriff and the dim man looked at each other, then over at the striking woman in their presence. The gulf between Wingate's physical appearance and that of his girlfriend was difficult to fathom. Perhaps hung down to his knee, the men will say later, Victor was a good 6 inches shorter than her. Paunchy, almost bald, not much style, a divorce has been bachelor living like a shy woodland animal in his big house on the side of a mountain. Then this woman showed up. "He didn't kill himself," she said again. On a flat, dry rock, a few feet from the fall, there was a glass of cut crystal. The sheriff pulled a sleeve down over his hand to protect the print and picked it up and smelled the remains. A last sip of bourbon swirled in the bottom. The angel shared, he thought. He set his back down and leaned against the rock. For the first time, he allowed himself a look outward. He noticed that the neighbor and the woman were doing the same. A hawk appeared above the cloud, then another, the pair circling in wide, graceful arcs against the blue sky, moving lower into the green, preparing to dive for prey in the shadow below. It really was a lovely view. And I'll be back with chapter 1. And this is new to me, y'all. So we reading this together. Buy my reactors.